Rabbi Jonah Pesner of the Reformed Jewish Movement, 2 million souls who are standing with you, Reverend Barber. You asked why we are here. When you stood before our biennial convention with 6,000 Jews watching in person and thousands more on the live stream, you called us to this Poor People's Campaign. And do you remember what we said?
Yes, sir.
We said, Hinenu.
Hinenu.
Everybody say Hinenu.
Hinenu.
Which means we are here. And then you said, you looked at me and you whispered as you took this stole.
Oh, yes, sir.
You remember that now?
Yes, sir.
The Rev put this stole around my shoulders and he whispered in my ear, now you are yoked to me. But Reverend Jackson, Reverend Barber, we're not just yoked to each other, we are all yoked to one another. Turn to your neighbor. Say to your neighbor, neighbor, I am yoked to you.
I am yoked to you.
Turn to your other neighbor. Neighbor, I am yoked to you. We are yoked to one another, Muslims and Christians and Jews on all faiths and no faiths, coming together to do what now? To redeem the soul of our nation. In solidarity to lift people up out of poverty, to end systemic racism, to reform the broken criminal justice system that has led to the mass incarceration, which is the new Jim Crow.
Yes, sir.
And we demand that every American adult has the right to vote. Now, this Poor People Campaign, as Reverend Jackson understands it, it didn't start today, but it didn't even start 50 years ago with Dr. King. It started thousands of years ago. This is the Jewish holiday of Shavuot, when we celebrate the receiving of Torah on Mount Sinai. And I don't usually commit civil disobedience on a Jewish holiday. Do you, Rabbi? No. But this Shavuot, when we read the book of Ruth, we're reminded of the first People's Campaign, the Poor People's Campaign. The first Poor People's Campaign is when Ruth said to Naomi, where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Ruth and Naomi, who were poor, they were widowed, they were orphans, they were the strangers.
Yes.
And God commands in the Torah that we celebrate getting on this day of Shavuot, God commands what about the widow, the orphan, and the stranger? We are to love them as we loved ourselves because we came out of Egypt. And so this is the Poor People's Campaign that has been going on for thousands of years and that is reminding us together, where your people go, I will go. The challenges that we face are many. When we have said, let's all cheer for we are all together. We are all together. You are my people and your God is my God. Whether we are facing a loss of the right to vote because of a felony conviction or because we are incarcerated by our poverty, we know that in this most prosperous nation in history, any poor person is too many poor people, and we must come together and say, wherever you go, I will go. Each one of us, black, white, brown, immigrant, native born, and our gender, sexual identity, whatever it is, we are here to lift one another up. And so we say, when Reverend Barber calls it out, forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Amen.
Amen.